This message will not be televised. It will not be on mainstream media because it's too raw, uncut.
DJ Baker is serving it to you.
Raw, uncut.
Open your mouth, give you a taste.
It's so tasty, too.
DJ Baker.
Raw, uncut.
It's about to go down.
Raw, uncut.
Welcome everyone to Raw and Uncut right here on the soundtrack of Pride. I'm sorry, I'm getting my bearings. It's Wednesday, guys, okay? You know how it is on Wednesday here in the studio. G Noble, everyone. Soundtrack of Pride right there. Off you. It's off the EP. Off you. Is you sure he's saying off you and it's not, F you? Let me stop. Just playing. All right, everybody, let's go. Happy Wednesday. In about a week, we'll be all, anxiety going over to our family's house unless you're creating your own, unless you're brave enough to start your own, or you're going to be brave enough to go home and start, rebel rousing your family. You know what I mean? This is a good time to do that, baby. Go in there with a whole lot of confidence. You know what I mean? I'm the one who's going in talking about so let's talk about those trans rights. Let's talk about it. You want to enter the show, enter dinner talking about Nicki Minaj and the MAGA nuts and the barbs. That you want to start off like that. You want to start off with talking about Pharrell. Mom, I think Pharrell's a lunatic for saying that the hell with DEI. What do you think? Hey, cousin, what's up with you and your barbness? Are you still a barb? Are you MAGA barb? Like, you want to go to the family, and you want to tear some mess up this season. Shout out to all my immigrant family. You know what I'm saying? It's a good time to go home and be like, well, what's up? Who voted? You did? What happened? How did that go? You know what I'm saying? This is a good time to do that. I'm sorry. Am I creating havoc in the household? Good. That's what this country needs. This country needs no more of this pretending to be like we're all family and coochie crunchy friends when we all separate after Thanksgiving, Christmas to go back to our voting patterns of voting for the opposite of our family. Y'all need to get your families together. I did that the last time I was there. With my family. I walked in and I'm like, yo, listen. Listen. This is where is everyone in this damn house a Kamala fan? Not just a fan. You voted. I don't want to hear you. Oh yeah, I love the way her dresses or her outfits look. I don't want to hear. Oh, I love that speech she said. I want to know that you went into the booth and you voted. Okay? Did you vote? Did you vote? The funny thing is my family, we're all on the same page, so we were all like grilling each other. You know what I'm saying? We're all checking voter ID cards at the front door. What does the card say? What did the card say? You missed one. You missed a midterm. Y'all need to get active in your family like that and stop acting like you can't mention or talk about nothing. And all you're sitting there doing is talking about, I don't know, Kim Kardashian. Stop. I don't want to talk about her. No. You can say that. I don't want to talk about her. What the hell is she doing that's so horrible? Did you see her and Britney Spears? I don't care. That didn't affect my my government job for the last couple of weeks. You know what I'm saying? It was almost like 30 days. That was like 4 weeks, a month. Of just BS, and not to mention the food stamp situation. We don't have time to sit here and mallygag and, what about those Knicks? So you can get to the Knick conversation. Shut up, because that's where I was going. You can get to the Knick conversation once you're past, you get past the politics. I don't want to hear nobody doesn't do politics at the table. The first person who says it at the table, that's the one you don't feed. You get no food. You get no food. Here's a to-go. All you get is 2 plops of macaroni and cheese and some cranberry sauce, and you're going to call it a day. Goodbye. Go sit in the kids' room. I don't care if they're watching Barney and SpongeBob. That's all your brain can handle any damn way. Go sit in the damn room with the kids. Okay, now we're done. Come on, you got to make family interesting. You know what I mean? You got to make the family interesting. All right, everyone, listen, let's go. Download the We Are You Radio, everyone. That way you don't miss a thing. Pynk Mafia on YouTube. Shout out to all the people that have been subscribing. I really appreciate you. We're going to keep the content coming until it's vacation time, and then there will be no content. That's just how it's going to be, okay? I know how the algorithm works. You take 2 days off or something, and then you start tanking your numbers. Oh, well, we're just going to have to just take our numbers for 2 or 3 days. We're going to take a whole week off, and we'll come back, and we'll start all over again, okay? If we'll start all over again till the cows come home. There's nothing wrong with starting all over again. You know what I mean? Come on now. I'm not ashamed. Don't forget, if you want to follow me on social media, it's Just Do Dirty, whether it's on Twitter or Instagram or Spill or in Blue Sky or wherever else. It's Just Do Dirty, okay? Interesting show today, by the way. Yeah, interesting show. From the topics I see. Let's go. Download the We Are You Radio, everyone. That way you don't miss a thing. You know we're going to do it. We're going to bring mostly R&B today. We'll start off with Gene Noble, and we'll end off somewhere else. Kalani coming up next. Keep it locked here on Raw and Uncut on We Are You Radio. The Urbans of the Pride.
DJ Baker is serving it to you raw and uncut.
It's so tasty, too.
There you go, everyone. K1 with Stand On It, baby. With All Due Respect is the name of the album. You can download, stream that all over the land. Let me tell you, it's the soundtrack of Pride right there. Also, catch them on tour. Can you pull up the tour dates, please? Thank you. This is good stuff here, by the way. I mean, they've been on tour since August, and then they went through September in America, and then they went overseas. So now they're in overseas. November 18th, they're over at Amsterdam in the Netherlands. The 19th in Paris, France. The 20th in Paris, France. So we got it going on. So they did Netherlands yesterday. I'm sure you went to the coffee shop. Now there's the cafe and there's the coffee shop. There's two different things. So I'm a traveler. I travel on the YouTube. And so I found that there's a difference in the Netherlands, a difference between the cafe and the coffee shop. Now, the coffee shop is where you get the puff. That's where you get the cannabis. You know what I mean? You get a little cannabis, you sit in the back, you get your little coffee, you have a little coffee, you little smoke a bud, buddy. You know what I mean? You go about your day. You know what I'm saying? It's all what it's all about in the world. It's what the world wants to be like. You know what I mean? And then the cafe is where you get like dinner and stuff. Well, not dinner, but you get like snacks and, certain pastries and stuff like that. You sit down with your little tea and, maybe a couple of wings or something. I don't know what they do. I don't know what the tradition is for the cafe. But I know the difference between the cafe and the coffee shop. Coffee shop is just edibles and cannabis and coffee, tea. And then you got the cafe, which is, all that and then some, like actual cooked food and stuff. You know what I mean? So shout out to listen. When you come to Raw and Uncut over here, the Pynk Mafia, you're gonna learn something, okay? Thank you. You'll learn something, okay? Shout out to France. Again, she'll be here for tonight. Well, in France, we're already done with the day, right? So she's there tomorrow, the 20th. Then she heads up back home with the United Kingdom on the 25th, the 26th, and 27th. She'll be there at the Outnet in London. Okay, congratulations to that. She goes to New Century Hall, and then she goes back to the States in March 5th. Oh, that's around my birthday. She'll be in Vancouver, Canada, and then she's taking the West Coast all the way over. March 6th is in Portland, and then she comes all the way and wraps it all up into Brooklyn on April the 1st. Oh, she's going to be in my neck of the woods. She's ending it here in Brooklyn. Well, if you're going to end something, you're going to end it around here. You know what I mean? And all this is after the Grammys. So, I hope that we see K1 at the Grammys because, somebody's nominated. Baby. You know what I mean? Baby. All right. I can't wait to see the pictures. the red carpet pictures. You know what I'm saying? And I hope Kalani comes in, of course, looking as I don't know, as feminine as possible. And K1 gives us all the masculinity in the world, the balance, the yin and the yang. It's going to be beautiful, isn't it? I'm just saying. You know, plus it'll be palatable for the onlookers, you know, the gawkers. You know what I mean? Shout out to K1 and Kalani. How y'all doing? Love couple over there. Can we send them something? You know, why not? You know, they seem like responsible adults, don't they? Oh God, you know, Kalani deserves all the things in the world. You know what I'm saying? They've been fighting the Zionists all summer long. You know what I mean? All year long. I have to say, for a good 3-4 years now, right? And look at that. At the end of it, Kalani still gets the Grammy nomination and possibly the Grammy. And not to mention the incredible PR boost that they've gotten from the Homage EP. That's a lot of good capital there for them. You know what I mean? There's a lot of good capital for them. So shout out to Kalani and shout out to K1. We look forward to seeing y'all both on the red carpet at the Grammys, okay? Okay. You see how I just snuck in that love couple along with the Grammys, along with the, you know what I mean, the tour dates and things? Oh, yeah. You're jealous. You jelly. What else are we talking about? Can we pull the other concert up? All right, so this weekend, everybody, when does this start? This Camp Flog Gnaw. It starts on Saturday, right? Could you zoom in a little bit? Thank you. Yeah, it starts on the 22nd and the 23rd, Saturday at Dodger Stadium. This is at Dodger Stadium, right? You guys are going to be there? Yeah. There's some LGBT people that are going to be in the building. You know what I mean? Well, I mean, other than, you know, Tyler, the Creator, there's Doshi's going to be there. Kelly Uchis's going to be there. Tizo Touchdown is going to be there. I see Party of Two's going to be there, but this is the Party of Two. I remember when it used to be the other team, the other group. I missed the other group, but whatever. Thundercat's going to be there. So let's see. AG Club, Samara Sin, Ray Vaughn, Navy Blue. Zach Fox is going to be there. That's going to be fun. You know what I'm saying? You guys know Zach Fox, right? From Abbott Elementary. You know what I mean? He's also in this movie called Lurking. If you haven't had an opportunity to see it, I would go see it. It's good. It's a little bit like, how do I say this? It's a little bit like The Fan. You know what I mean? But a little bit different and a lot less, you know, overly dramatized scary and more dramatized reality, like the reality of what would happen if, you know, someone who was a fan all of a sudden became, you know, someone who was working with the person that they were a fan of. You know what I'm saying? And how the celebrity used this person until they found out about it, and then it was like, it's a good movie. Go check it out, okay? Lurking, okay? Lurking. Look it up. I see that he added the Clips, too. A$AP Rocky's going to be there. Well, you got $1 billion coming on stage there. You know what I mean? Better make sure it's right. Blood Orange is going to be there. How you doing? Shout out to Dodger Stadium. It's Camp Flog Gnaw, the Carnival. Is this the first day is back? Shout out to Munji. He says no Munji. I agree. This should Munji. And I agree, right? But November the 22nd and 23rd is a 2-day festival. This happens all the time. This is his thing. This is Tyler, the Creator's thing. This is how he puts on, you know, these artists and brings people together to promote his stuff. And I guess he's headlining, right? Of course he's headlining. And this is going to be good for his, you know, because they're voting right now, right? They're voting for the Grammys and stuff. I know. When is that due in December, right? December, like, I think like 13th or something like that, or Something like that. Something like that. You know what I mean? Something like that. But this is a pretty good thing. I wish that Saucy Santana was on here. It would be nice to have a Big Freedia on here. Can we talk quickly about Big Freedia, who was on Sherri Shepherd yesterday? Oh my God, that was a surprise. I didn't expect it. And it was the first time that, Big Freedia got an opportunity to talk about Devin. Rest in peace, Devin. And it's good to see, Big Freedia, just getting the flowers. You know what I'm saying? When Sherri went down the list of people that they have, collaborated with, from Kesha to, Sierra to, Beyonce, Drake, it's like, wow. You know what I'm saying? You say whatever you want. You say whatever you want about Big Freedia, but you can't say that, Big Freedia isn't someone who's known, who's a known entity. And has some political capital, some capital with the people. And then on top of that is very prominent in Louisiana. I mean, she's always, hosting the, she's like the Grand Marshal of the Louisiana parade. And then she's got the cannabis line, you know what I'm saying? We're still trying to work out this situation with her being a part of our edible package. Why hasn't anyone talked about this to her? You know what I'm saying? Can someone get the Big Freedia, please? And then on top of that, she's got the lounge, the little, bed and breakfast thing going on. You know what I mean? The lounge in the bottom with the, the backyard and the performance stage. And then, of course, there's upstairs, there's a couple of rooms and things. And she's got the cannabis stuff, so you could only imagine what's going on in those rooms. You know what I mean? Shout out to Big Freedia, okay? Got that new album out, the spiritual album, the gospel album. Can we play some of that? We don't play it here enough. I don't know why. Don't ask me. I'm rootin' tootin' for, we do play it on the network, right? Oh, well, there you go, There's just something about the God people up here at the Raw and Uncut show. we repel the God people. Oh, but we're not done. We're not done. We gotta talk. But later. Download the We Are You Radio, everyone. That way you don't miss a thing. We got one more real gay conversation coming up next, and it's dealing with Ray Potts. Okay, that's right. I'm gonna be defending Ray Potts, and I love it. On Raw and Uncut on We Are You Radio, the urban sound of pride.
Download the We Are You Radio app.
Turn it up loud.
Use the shout-out feature to talk directly to your favorite station. It's available on your app store. Search WERU Radio, one word, today.
There you go, everyone. Donya Nolan, Nobody. I love this song just because it's just the hook, you know what I mean? But it just gives you that good old feeling, that good old R&B feeling. That you just want to move around and you. And that about you. I love this song. Shout out to Tanya Nolan, everybody. You know what I mean? The soundtrack of Pride. Thank you. You hear the Beagle Boys, everyone. Today we're going to be dealing with our OnlyFans boys. You know what I mean? Shout out to the OnlyFans boys. There you go. It's like a whole hustle on its own. You know what I mean? Shout out to all the sex workers out there. We support the sex workers. You know what I mean? The folks that, get you off when you need to. I think they need a lot more respect before we even get into, our main story. You know what I'm saying? I just want to talk in general. I see a lot of people disrespect, the sex work. They just feel like they have to. They drag them for their drug habits. They drag them for their, maybe because they're a little ghetto, or you know what I mean, or they're broke all the time and they're doing these skeezy things to get things done. All this would go away. A lot of it would go away as if they were legally able to make money, illegally be able to file taxes, legally to be able to consider it a real job where they get up in the morning and they go, well, today this is what I'm going to do. You know what I mean? I set up my hours, I do my little thing and get it done, and I get paid for it. You know what I mean? And I deserve protections under the law. I also deserve, a little bit of respect from the from the community, from the people that I'm servicing. I've never seen someone. Well, that's not true. I guess people do drag, rappers, and they drag, actors, and they, they do mistreat people who are in the public eye, and I guess that's what it's all about, right? But there's something about sex workers that just makes me feel like you demean them a little bit extra, like they're easily dehumanized. And I'm a big advocate about dehumanization. I don't like it at all, in any form. You know what I mean? And I definitely don't like it when it's to my own community, specifically when it comes to the sex workers, whether they be trans, non-binary, or gay. I don't care. We're not going to dehumanize anybody on this goddamn thing, not unless they ask for it, okay? Now that leads into what we're talking about today. Okay, now that we got that out of the way. Thank you. Have you seen these videos? Yeah, could you pass this around and put some of these videos up on the screen? The only one I think you could put on the screen would be the first one. Oh God, how do we talk about this? How do we do this? And we're just gonna do it. Okay, hold on. First of all, can you go to Ray Potts on Instagram. Go to Ray Potts on Instagram. So he had something to say. Shout out to Ray Potts. You know what I'm saying? As he always does. This is why we like Ray Potts, because he's vocal. He's gonna let you know. You know what I'm saying? He took it down. Damn, he took it down. I hate when they take it down. Well, he did. I caught it when he was talking about people coming down on him for the content that he's posting. You know what I'm saying? So can you go to the there we go. This is why I haven't left New York yet. He paid my Ray Potts special. I love a cash pig. Now, this happens to be a Latino man. This is a Latino man who is enjoying getting fisted. Now, can we act like adults, please? Can we act like adults? All this. Shut up. Okay, let me stop because I'm trying not to snicker myself. Okay. Did we get it out? Composure. Let's be serious here, okay? There are people who like this thing done to them, so let's not shame anybody. I know it's a giggly thing, it's cute and giggly, but we're not shaming anybody, are we? Okay, good. Let's not shame anybody. This is what they want to do. This is how you get off. Let's just say you paid for a service, you get a service. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you got to pay someone to do things like this to you. You know what I mean? This is not something that the wifey can do. I'm just saying. You know what I mean? Yeah. I wouldn't even do it for my man. If my man started like, "Oh, you got to fist me." Well, I don't know, babe. We got to get off this trend. I don't know. Maybe you could pay somebody to do that. I'm not doing it. That's when we open up the relationship. Have somebody come in and do that to you, okay? I'm certainly not putting my fist clear up your ass. That's not happening. You know what I mean? I think I would be ashamed to ask my partner, even though you shouldn't be ashamed to ask your partner anything. You should be able to ask your partner just about anything. That doesn't necessarily mean they're just going to go for it. We're going to have a discussion and a negotiation. You know what I mean? But you should be able to say just about anything. You should be able to say anything to your partner. But still, I can't see you. If you were married to a woman, you saying, honey, dear, let's sit down and let's talk. You know what I mean? So this is where Ray Potts comes in. This is why I say our sex workers are there to fulfill a service. They're in the service business, are they not? You know what I'm saying? You pay for a fisting pig, you're gonna get one. You know what I'm saying? Oh gosh, some of you are your faces are squinched up in pain. The fist ain't going to you. Would you relax, please? But this is the thing. This is people pay for this. So I guess people are complaining about this, right? Well, that wasn't it. So he posted another one that we cannot post. We cannot post that one. we could put it in the private chat. Put it in the private chat, okay? Oh gosh, I don't know. Don't look at me, girl. Don't look at me. So there's a large white person. I'm just gonna say it like that. I'm assuming this is in New York too. This is why people love being in New York. You know what I'm saying? This is where the rich and famous are. This is where the wealthy are. There's the wealthy with the freaky. You know what I'm saying? I mean, not everybody wants to be a part of rings and things. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You don't want to be a part of no rings and things. You're like, all right, you know, it's not, I don't want to be, I don't traffic in all that other stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'll just stick to, you know, hiring a sex worker on there to, you know, spank my nuts while I masturbate. Shut up. Now, I think some people had a problem with him putting up reparations on this. You know, this is reparations series because the guy is white. And he's, you know, he's telling him, you know, yes, master. You know what I mean? Hey, sometimes you want to fulfill the fantasy. I mean, you know what I mean? You know, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Again, this is race play. They're paying for this. Ray Potts is consenting. The person, you know, being, what's this called? Another slave who wanted to be punished. Well, there you go. And the guy didn't mind being on camera either. Her face is all out there. You know, is this guy a cop or something? Or I don't know. Who is he? A government official? Who is this man? A lawyer? It's more like a lawyer, right? Probably a lawyer. You know, or some high-class business guy, right? But listen, at the end of the day, he likes his nuts spanked while he masturbates, and he wants a black guy to do it. You know what I mean? If you pay for a service, you get it. Well, that's different, isn't it? Don't you think that's different than, you know, the idea that, you know, you're not getting paid to do something like that? Some people feel like, you know, at least you could do is get paid. But this is what I'm saying. This is the point of sex workers. There are things that people want done that they may not feel comfortable sharing with their partner, or they, you know, are single and they have certain fetishes that are not easily found. You know, it's very difficult to find someone who's going to spank your nuts. You know what I'm saying? And call you massa and all that. You know, you that you're going to be able to. You know what I mean. There's not a lot of people you can walk around. You don't go, hey, just put a fist up in my ass. You don't like, you know. Well, how do you bring that up during dinner? You know what I'm saying? Is that something that comes out during dinner? Like, how does that come out? You know what I'm saying? So it's very difficult to fill those positions in a regular, you know, busy life when someone's busy doing whatever they are with their career. So you know what you do? You hire somebody to do that for you. This is the point of the sex workers. This is the point of Ray Potts. I'm glad he posted this. This is to let you know that there's another business out there that you guys, if you know, when it comes to you know, it comes to porn or it comes to sex work, you have to diversify. I'm glad he's diversifying. Listen, there are people who wants to pay that little, you know what I'm saying, a little black boy to smack his balls and then let him tallywhacky his willy. Well, then go right ahead, okay? You go right ahead, brother. And shout out to Ray Potts. And can we stop, okay? I understand. Y'all don't like it. And there you go with your little judgmental behind. I see all the God people with their scrunched faces in the Mafia right now. I've been staying quiet about it, but you can unfix your face, okay? Like you know, your mother used to say, fix your face, okay? This is a job. He did the job, and I think that we could shout out to Ray Potts for being transparent about what he's doing for a living, okay? Congratulations to you, Ray Potts. There you go. And don't forget, Ray Potts is on After Dark with HD, right? Yeah, go check that out too while you're at it. Y'all keep hating on Ray Potts, okay? Y'all need to back off. The Mafia's got his back, okay? Shout out to sex workers, all right? Download the We Are You Radio, everyone. That way you don't miss a thing. Keep it locked here on Raw and Uncut on We Are You Radio, the urban sound of pride.
Category is Black LGBTQ plus radio station realness. And the winner is WeAreYouRadio.com, the only black-owned LGBTQ plus 24/7 streaming station in the world. Exclusive, legendary, iconic. Wherever you're celebrating Pride, WeAreYouRadio.com is your soundtrack. Those other stations might be called Pride, but WeAreYouRadio.com features black queer artists We're talking hip-hop, soulful house music, R&B, black, queer, and unapologetic. WeAreYouRadio.com, the sound of black queer pride, 365 days of the year.
Yeah, there you go, everyone. Khalid, of course, with Da 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 Da. As After the Sun Goes Down, it's the name of the album. Shout out to Khalid, you know what I mean. I think he's got a new video coming out or something. I saw him promoting something. Thank you. It's time for the crime report, everybody. Now, we don't do All Rise. We don't do that anymore. Let's get it together. The crime report is separate from the legal report. Now, yes, I know. We used to do that, All Rise for the crime report. We do not do that. We are not in court. We're at the police blotter, okay? So that's how we're going to see this. These are crimes that are happening out in the world that have to do with LGBT people, okay? Some of them. Sometimes we'll jeer off to the beaten path, okay? But today we have one that's about forcible rape, by the way, in North Carolina, okay? All right, so let's bring that up, everybody. Thank you. Let's go. A North Carolina man was arrested and charged with second-degree forcible rape following an alleged assault earlier this year. It says authorities have said that the incident took place in April after a victim and a suspect identified as 25-year-old Troy May met at a local music studio. So this is probably somebody who wants to, be a rapper. They did not mention their name. I'm sure they don't want to. This is why the article doesn't have the victim's name or anything more about the victim. This is all about the assailant. This is not about the victim here, okay? There's no victim information in this. All we know is the situation that happened and the victim's statement. So here we go. It says they met at a local music studio. According to an investigation, the two interacted inside the studio before leaving together and sitting in a vehicle. You know what you do when you're done with the studio time. You go, let's go smoke a blunt before you hit back onto the road. You know what I'm saying? You sit in the car. You put the track into into your CD player. Well, this is what we used to do back in the days. When you used to go to the studio. And you would get the little, the CD, and then you put the CD in there or the tape. When you had the tape players. I've been through a couple of generations. Okay, I've been on this rock for 50 years. I've seen different things. Okay, I've seen 8 tracks. Okay, not in a car. Actually, I have seen it in a car. I remember when they had 8-track in a car. Shut up. I was a baby, but I remember it. And I remember because my father, I think, not that he had one, but he knew someone who had one because it was in the back of a limousine because he was a music producer. And that's how I used to be. I used to be in the studio all the time as a kid, following my dad all over the place. He'd be, going to the studio at 2 o'clock in the morning, doing gigs at 3 o'clock in the morning at these dive bars and stuff. Oh, what a lot of fun to be a kid. 6 years old, 7 years old, 5 years old in a bar at 3 o'clock in the morning. Oh boy, I thought I was a real adult, man. Then you got all these women catering to you, because your dad would sit you down and then you're like, hey, sweetheart, how you doing? You know what I mean? And, they got the tits in on your face and everything. I'm sorry. This is why I understand a lot of the Nepo babies. I'm like, I get it. It's a thing, So yeah, you go into this, after the studio, you sit down in the car, you smoke a blunt, you go through, the work that you did. You know what I'm saying? You like this here, you maybe, criticize a couple of this there. You were like, yo, this shit sounds dope. I can't wait. You start dreaming while you're smoking. You just, kind of, dreaming about what it feels like to hear this on the radio and, your first interview and going on tour and, and all the fun things that artists think about when you're working. So you got to remember. So his defenses are down. You know what I'm saying? Defenses are down. So here we go. He said the victim told police that the encounter became physical. And when they attempted to stop, May allegedly ignored their refusal and forced sexual intercourse. I'm like thinking, how did we do that in the car? You know what I mean? I said the person reported that they cried and tried to push him away, but May continued. They later contacted the police after receiving multiple calls from him, during which he allegedly acknowledged the encounter. So this has happened after. So this is what happened. It happened in the car, right? And then imagine after that, he starts calling you, and he thinks he won, I want it again. You know what I mean? And you're like, yo, come on, man, you know what happened. Yeah, I didn't want that. I didn't like it. You know what I mean? But, you're bigger than me. Like, of course, like sometimes a dude is more stronger than you. Not all men are just, this built body. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you get stuck. I mean, it depends on how aggressive that person is. You know what I'm saying? And if you're not expecting it, they could easily, get you under an influence or under, leverage. They could have leverage. Now, I don't know exactly what happened, but it's possible. You know what I'm saying? It says detectives had launched an investigation and a warrant was later issued for his arrest. May was taken into custody October 23rd. This is like all the way. This happened in April, and they didn't get arrested until October, which means he was harassing him after this. You know what I'm saying? It takes the harassment for him to pick up the phone and call the police. This is what I'm saying. That's brave. It's very difficult to do. You know what I mean? But a lot of it is you can't continue. This can't continue, bro. It says now he faces felony charges and second-degree forcible rape. Details regarding the bond and future court date and legal representation has not yet been released at press time. The North Kakalaka law, second-degree forcible rape is a serious offense that carries the potential of significant prison time if convicted. The police have not released any additional information about the investigation. Remains ongoing. The case has drawn attention to the importance of consent and safety in informal and private settings, especially involving social media interaction or creative collaborations. I think the creative collaborations is something that we already know about the social media, but the creative collaborations is the issue here, okay? Now, the reason why I want to bring up that situation is creative situation, because that's a lot of times what happens. You're in the studio, you know what I'm saying? This is a lot of stuff that was going on with Diddy, you know what I'm saying, or Sean Combs, or or other people, other producers, you know what I'm saying, where they were, as Kiki would say, they're in the studio and things are late and everyone's tired or high or under the influence, and then things just change. It's like there's a time when it's just a switch, and then things get ugly. You know what I'm saying? And if you're not prepared for it, it can be startling because you're not in defensive mode. You're in creative mode, and being in creative mode means being vulnerable. Being creative mode means being open, being free. This is what they tell you when you get in the booth. Let it go. Let go of the inhibitions. Drop all that. We need you to be raw. We need you to be there. We need you to be vulnerable. This is why I think that they're predators. I would consider these people predators because they're preying on that. They're using the fact that you're at a particular position, which is a vulnerability. You know what I'm saying? And so I hope that this what's his name, Mr. May, gets served justice, and the victim is able to, get some type of understanding that, the law cares about them. You know what I mean? And I hope that May gets some help. I think, again, there's something going on there. I don't think that people just go around forcing themselves on people, and I think rape is specifically about power. And so I want to know more about, what's going on with Mr. May so that we can get rid of that, that we can fix that or address it at least. Some type of, case management, risk management, come on, the person has to go out and they have to make a living, right? But they can't do this. They can't, overpower people and take their innocence or take their consent away. You know what I'm saying? and you know, I always feel like that's snatching souls. When you take someone's consent away, you snatch souls. And I don't ever want to be known as a soul snatcher. And I also think that when people are snatching souls, that and shut up, you know, I just think that there's something else going on. You know what I mean? It's not so simple as in, oh, go to jail and that's it. Because they're just going to do it again. You know, if they were compelled to do it, they knew that what they were doing was wrong, then they're going to do it again. And criminal time doesn't change that. That doesn't change the behavior. That just punishes the behavior. If you want to change the behavior, which we do want to, right? We want to change the behavior. We want to get this young man some real justice. You know what I'm saying? And to get real justice means that he doesn't do it to somebody else. There's a reason why they came forward. This is so that you can put them away so they don't do it to somebody else. You know what I mean? So this is how we have to see crime. We have to see crime as something that we actually address and fix, and not something we just punish and put away for without thinking about this person when they get back into the public. You understand what I'm saying? If we really care about our safety, then we care about rehabilitation. If we care about redemption, this Christian word, I'm going to do it, this Christian word, then you would care about getting people the opportunity to be redeemed themselves, okay? And it's not going to happen by just going and praying on their knees to God, okay? It happens through science, practice of therapy, and practice of other sciences and medicine. Okay? All right, let's go. And you can throw a little Jesus in there. You can get some little knee action going on, okay? You want some knee action? Go get some knee action. But it really we need to address the issue. And we're never going to get to the end of crime if we don't address the issue, which is the crime itself. Okay? All right. Download the We Are You Radio app, everyone. That way you don't miss a thing. Keep it locked here on Raw and Uncut on We Are You Radio, the urban sound of pride.
R&B, hip-hop, and house music.
The hottest music.
First things first.
Nobody does it like We Are You Radio.
We everywhere, baby.
Urban music for the LGBTQ community.
Welcome back, everyone, to the soundtrack of pride right here. By the way, a shout out to Nicholas Little for the record. The way I penned it. Now, I was talking to a couple of industry insiders. I'll just leave it at that. I'll leave it at that. That said this might be AI, right? Now, I was attributing the vocal change to, you know, some really, you know, heavy, you know, vocal coaching. But the point being, if you hear the older music by Nicholas Little and you hear this, there is a big jump in quality of his vocals. Just personally, his vocals, not the music, but the vocals. So I think we're gonna launch an investigation into whether this is AI, and if it is AI, we're going to continue to play it. I like the song, I do, but we're going to have to add, you know, like a situation when I announce it or when we play it, you know, maybe at least here we'll announce that it is an AI voice, right? It's an AI record, right? Now this is the new thing that we're under, right? You know, the whole AI thing, right? Oh God, this is something, I tell you. This is something. It's a whole new frontier, I tell you. Well, I mean, listen, I'm using it. You know, you see my, you know, the little vignettes that I put out. I use AI to do them, you know what I'm saying, to get me to do things, you know, that I want, you know, like the stirring of the, you know, the kitchen, I'm cooking, because, you know, it's Thanksgiving coming up. I'm going to make one with, you know, me doing the Christmas tree and the snow and all this other stuff. And I'm going to do some Christmas stuff, you know what I'm saying? I'm just do some Kwanzaa stuff, too, you know what I mean? Exactly. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. All right, let's get into it, everybody. I know. I don't know. How do we talk about this? You know, I don't know how we talk about this. You know, because I don't want to talk about it the same way everyone else is talking about it, which is, you know, the Nicki Minaj, you know, situation. Because I think it's bigger than Nicki Minaj, even though I think this Nicki Minaj thing is a little bit more complicated and more nuanced than people are, you know, it's just simply like she's just a MAGA and that's it. I think she's always been MAGA. I think she's always been MAGA, guys. I don't think that this is a change as all of a sudden she's become MAGA. You know, she's been doing MAGA things for a long time now. She's been doing Republican conservative things a lot of times now. This is not new. You know what I'm saying? She's done it when she's trying to out people when they're gay. When she did the Ice Spice, she did to Coi Leray. She's done it to, you know, with the COVID spreading of disinformation, and you know, she's done it with her fan base. You know, what she did to Chika, and then all the other, you know, artists that she's bullied, you know, that are, you know, that her Barbs have done. We've seen the Barbs do MAGA things for a while now, and I think that we've been calling this out. And I don't find this very shocking at all. What I do find shocking is that she's gone all the way. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Before, it felt like, you know, this is how she felt. You know, she was, she is, I guess, a religious nut. I don't know. Is she a religious nut? Is she one of the God people? Now, I say the God people because, you can pray to all the Bibles and read all the Bibles till the cows come home. But if you're not behaving like one, then what's really the point? You know what I mean? What's the point? If you know, it's like reading a book that's instructing you on how to behave, and then you do everything opposite from the book. Well, then, you know, it's like, well, something's wrong with you, right? You know what I mean? You're not really doing it because you believe in it. You're doing it because you want to wield this as power on other people to do what you want them to do, to live the life that you want them to live. You understand what I'm saying? And there's a totally different thing than your spirituality and your relationship with Jesus Christ. You know what I'm saying? That goes way beyond that. You know what? You feel what I'm saying? That goes way beyond your feelings of Allah. That goes way beyond your feelings of Judaism, of God. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you got to bring it in now. You got to reel it in. But they don't, right? So what would make her go this far? What would make her go this far? I'm not going to comment about the parasocial relationship because I think that's what we're saying when we're looking at what she's doing as dangerous. I think we're acknowledging that there's a parasocial relationship with the Barbs that are dangerous. Now, I did see some Barbs reject this, you know, saying, I don't care, I love her, you know, her music, but we ain't doing this. You know, there's people have limits and people have boundaries, you know what I'm saying? And not everyone's going to go flying off the cliff. Like Kanye West fans, remember? It took them a while to get off that train, but, you know, they were like, I'm not going off this cliff with this man. I'm not going anti-Semitic for this man. I'm just not doing it. I think when you see what the Trump administration is doing as white supremacy and colonialism, then you start to understand what's really happening with what's going on in Venezuela, what's happening in Nigeria, what's happening in Gaza. If you notice that they're all, brown occupation by brown people, right? They all have either some type of minerals or some type of resources that are important, even if land is just the resource. You know, they to find a new place to set up shops and build up big buildings and breed capitalism. You know, breed capitalism, because this is where white supremacy can live and thrive. You know, this is where colonialism thrives, in capitalism. This is why, you know, we have all these socialist governments that are trying to fight that, you know, trying to fight this need to be individuals, this individual instead of the community. You know, communism, that's what communism is, right? Socialism, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's things where, you know, we are collectively working together, where capitalism is a single-minded situation. Everybody thinks they got where they want to go with the only help of themselves and their own brain. You know, they've persevered. I did this. I created that. I'm prospering off of this. I am the king. I am the CEO. I am the boss. You hear this all the time. I'm the boss. I want to be a boss. I want to be the man. I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to get the bag. That individualism is going to kill us. It's going to kill our society. It's going to kill our culture. Period. End of story. And so that's what she's participating. This is why everyone is freaking out. But let's see why she would do that. Why would she participate into this other than to go, like she was already doing it, right? She didn't need Trump to do this. She didn't need Trump to be a capitalist. She didn't need Trump to be a bigot. She didn't need Trump to do that. She was doing fine all by herself. The difference is the video with Jay-Z. The difference is the calling out of Rock Nation. The calling out of things that, filling into conspiracy theories about, what's going on in the music business. You know what I'm saying? The agitation of that, the instigation of going in further, feeding that there's something nefarious going on. Now, mind you, I think there is something nefarious going on, but that's with someone who's being affected by that nastiness now because you're irrelevant, right? You know what I'm saying? The same thing with Britney and them. You're irrelevant, and so you become irrelevant. You don't have capital anymore. And so now you start to realize that you need them to maintain a standard of living. Now, I'm not saying that Nicki's broke. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is, well, she's not as rich as she'd like to be. You know what I'm saying? There's one thing about saying someone's broke and then someone's not as rich as they want to be. When you're a capitalist, you're always looking for more money, more power, more this, more. It's always more. In order to get that more, she needs somebody who's going to give her that more. And the only way they're going to give her that more if she joins on board and parrots the colonialism and the white supremacy. That's how she does this. This is why she's in it. Okay? Do you think she cares about Christians? No. You think she cares about Nigerians? No. You think she cares about Christians and Nigerians? No and no. You think she cares about the Barbs? No. These people don't care about nobody but themselves. It's the same thing. You act like Trump is the only one. Like Trump is an anomaly or something. Like he's some type of creature that, some E.T. creature. No, he's not. He's just like every other narcissist, felonist, grifter. You know what I mean? And white supremacist. Like, they're all the fucking same. It's just he's got the most power right now. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't necessarily mean that there's not a whole bunch of them that feel the same way, that are black, brown, and any different. And LGBT. You got the one on Chasing Orlando, right? What's his name? Whatever his freaking name was with the spiked hair. You're talking about he's a Trumper. Like, what are you talking about? You sound like an idiot. And to be a victim of Pulse, it's like, what? But it tells you how deep this goes. So I know that Nicki and this situation is tough, but let me tell you something. There's already this energy in Nigeria. I've done a little research on the life that's going on in Nigeria. Lagos is very similar to America in its capitalism, in its individualism. And so I think that individualism is easy to co-opt. I think it's easy to continue to feed the divisions between the Christians and Muslims. I think everything goes back to religion. This is what the tool of religion is for. And I really wish that the people who are leaders in these religions and these faiths would step up a lot more and start to denounce this stuff. I really wish they would come forward, just like you wanted Muslims to denounce Islamic extremists, or you wanted Christians to Christian extremists. Like, you want all these. Listen. Where are the faith leaders? Where are the faith leaders to call this out? And this is not Christianity. This is not everything. Every freaking war that is fought seems to be based on some fake and phony faith that somehow people believe in that they don't believe in, if you know what I mean. Download the We Are You Radio, everyone. That way you don't miss a thing. I think that Nicki Minaj is more nuanced and complicated, but yet very straightforward and in your face and transparent. And I wish that we talk more about that and less about well, Nicki's just irrelevant and that's it. No, it's more than that. It's more than her just saying, Trump. It's more than that. It's so much more than that. And I think we need to see it as that. We're about to go to war with Nigeria. We're about to find a way to fund and feed a fissure between Christians and Muslims, just like we have where we have Jews and Muslims in Gaza. We have to stop this. This needs to stop now. Download the We Are You Radio, everyone. That way you don't miss a thing. And let me tell you something. I am not going to be arguing with any of you barbs. Not going to happen. On Raw and Uncut. On We Are You Radio. The urban sound of pride.
DJ Baker is serving it to you raw and uncut.
It's so tasty, too.
There you go, everyone. It's PJ, The Real Thing. I love this song. Number one track on the weekly top 40, by the way. R&B did really well this year on the weekly top 40 as we talk about the end of the year. Coming up at the end of the year, literally at the end of the year. I think between Christmas and New Year's is when we'll have the whole week will be, of course, between Christmas and New Year's, right? Well, the whole week will be the honorable mentions, and then that first week in first Saturday, I think. Is it the first Saturday? We gotta get the dates. We gotta get the dates lined up, but we will have the top 40 best of 2025. Okay, that's coming up at the end of the year. Last week in December, all week long, we'll be celebrating the honorable mentions. That means all the songs that did not make the top 40 because there's only 40 tracks able to make the top 40 of the year. Yet we feature hundreds of tracks, literally hundreds. Okay, so this is why we do the whole thing with the countdown, with the weeks and stuff. Some songs are just stronger than others. You know what I'm saying? Or some people are working harder than others to get to keep their music alive. And we notice stuff like that. I see it all. I'm here every day. Y'all can go through the weekly top 40s Instagram page, and it's stacked. Okay, we are consistent here. There ain't no days off here. There's no he missed a week here. No. There's none of that. Okay, and so with the stats that we have, the data that we have, the data that I've been following for years after years of 15 years, this show, the weekly top 40. Oh, no, sorry. It's like, is it 10 or is it 15? It's 15, right? Oh, my gosh. Is that long? No, that's me. Shut up. I think it's 12 years. Okay, well, 12 years of the weekly top 40 and the LGBTQ over charts. But I've been doing this for like over 20 years now. So shout out to all the artists out there. I've been following since 2015. So it's been 10 years. What are you talking about? That's when the weekly top 40 started. Yeah, it's 2014. 14, so 2000. So we're 11 years in. All right, well, there you go. So don't look at me like that. I ain't there. Don't do that. Don't do that to me. Don't do that. You make me feel like I don't know. And it's because I forgot. And I'm not good with dates. It's the same thing when people ask you, when you do your resume. When you're doing a resume, you got to do the dates. Where did you start? When did you leave? You're like, oh God, I got to remember that stuff. I don't remember. Who remembers the day that you left a job? I don't remember. Once I leave the job, I forget about that job. I'm not thinking about that job. Oh, gosh. I'm really bad with that, though. I'm really bad with that. I will tell you, I've been one of those people who you meet at the job, and I'm the most friendly person. We have a hula and a holla and a coot. The minute I leave there, I'm out of there. I'm out. Like, friendships are done. I'm just done. I'm moving on. I'm creating a whole new life. You know what I mean? I'm so used to that. And I think it's because when I was a kid, that's how it used to be. When you meet a new group of people, you kind of have to forget about the other school and move to the new school. And so you learn not to hold on to relationships as much because of that. This is why, shout out to my best friend, he knows who he is. We just know him as D, But this is how you know what I'm saying? Because I've kept in contact with him even without, even changing environments or changing anything. Like, there are people who are just going to last. Shout out to my girl, Kimmy, and, even Mandy, you know what I'm saying, who I just talked to via text. But, it's like there's still a connection there. You know what I'm saying? There's like the trio. That's my trio. You have a trio, right? Don't you have a trio? You have a trio of people that, rain, sleet, or snow, they're just going to show up, aren't they? They're going to show up, aren't they? Shout out to Kid Kenn. So we were talking about Kid Kenn yesterday, right? Could you bring this up, please? Could you bring up the post? So we were talking about Kid Kenn and this the post of him, where is it? Find it. No, that's Ray Potts. We're on something else now, okay? We're on something else. Gosh. Can you go to my bookmarks then? Thank you. And we're talking about this Kid Kenn situation, where he posted the picture where he's looking all, you know what I mean? And hold on. It's in my my DMs. Yeah, cuz it was in the weekly top 40 where I saw it and then I had to send it to myself. Yeah, so bring it up for a second, okay? We got two things to correct from yesterday's situation. One of them is Kid Kenn. So he has an OnlyFans. Here. Here's the picture. Can you put this on the screen, please? Are they going to allow this? Can we sneak it in? Can we find a way to sneak it in? Is there a way? Maybe we can blur it out or something? No, you have to see the picture. You got to see the picture. There it goes. All right, zoom in on your. I don't know. Can you zoom in on your thing? It's a decent sized piece he's got here. I wish he'd show us some booty shots. Are there booty shots in the Are there any booty shots? There's no booty shots. He's giving you masculines. This is the part of the rebrand, right? He's been doing this for a while now, by the way. He's been doing this for a while. Well, I mean, I've seen the beach looks and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Him on the beach. Is he showing any booty on the beach? Can you bring up the pictures that you had yeah. Is that no? See, he's showing chest, all chest. The only one he's showing booty in is the old ones, but all the new ones he's showing he's showing chest. Well, here he's pulling it down. You can see his piece right there. So he has an OnlyFans, but he's not doing anything, right? He's not, you know. Yeah, you got to do what you got to do. You know what I mean? You got to do what you got to do. Who am I to judge? You know what I'm saying? Who am I to judge? You know what I'm saying? Could you put that back up, please? Thank you. I see you keep trying to move on to another picture. Just leave the picture up there at this point, for at least the people in the room. Now, I saw that people commented and said, you be putting your thing in that? That's the booty hole. The booty from yesterday, right? So his response is, because he puts the OnlyFans link under it. We didn't see the OnlyFans link. You just showed me the pictures. He said, I could, but I don't. Okay, well, he could. That means he could put it in there if he wanted to, but he won't. A lot of people were upset about this, by the way. Yeah. What are you trying to say? Now you're hetero or something? Now you're hetero? Okay. Oh, if I was them, they reply would make me say, okay. Yeah, it's, oh, wait, we really trade now? Oh, my God, where have I been? What happened to the colorful hair? Oh, I love you. I love this, though, too. You know what I'm saying? Because it's what we're used to. But, no, he's been doing this for everything. Mm-hmm. Well, shout out to Kid Kenn. I just we had to make that adjustment, right? That he actually has an OnlyFans. And if you want to see his penis, then you can just go to his OnlyFans. Even though you can see it here on I don't know if YouTube will let this go through, you know what I mean? The butt one went through, right? Well, let's try it. Okay, let's try it. If you guys don't see it on the YouTube, then you know what happened. But we're going to try to do it strategically, strategically. You got to do it strategically. You just let it flash across the screen. Is that what you're doing? You're going to flash on the screen, flash. Flash. It's a thicky one. He's a thicky guy. You know what I mean? It's something about the tweaks, right? And shut up. I'm just gonna say it like that, okay? There's something about those twinks. There's something about their meat down there. It just goes all the way down there. Exactly. Shout out to Kid Kenn, okay? And the other thing that we need to clear up is that the Kevin Abstract picture with that's Dominic Fink. I didn't recognize that was Dominic Fink, but that's Dominic Fink. Now, they've been working together for a long time. And Dominic Fink is actually half Brazilian. I think he's half Brazilian, right? Yeah. So, this is why we said that person's not white. You know what I'm saying? But it wouldn't matter regardless. Whatever he wants to do is what he wants to do. We still stand by that, though, right? Yeah, exactly. All right, well, there you go. I'm done. Let's get out of here. Download the radio weapon with that. We don't miss a thing. You got Kid Kenn with his dick flying, and and Dominic Fink is Latino, so we can stop. Okay. And can he date a Latino? Is that okay? Is it okay for black people to date Latinos, or we're not allowed to do that either? I don't know what the freaking rules are for these fundamental black people. You know what I mean? Everything got to be blackity black. On Raw and Uncut, on We Are You Radio, the urban sound of pride.
Download the We Are You Radio app.
Turn it up loud.
Use the shout-out feature to talk directly to your favorite station. It's available on your app store. Search WERU Radio, one word, today.
Yeah, shout out to Terrell Carter right there, the soundtrack of Pride. I have a question. That's all it is. I have a question. The album is Mr. Carter. Shout out to Beauty in Black, by the way. He's on that show. Yeah, he's the one that's piping Steven. Oh, God, the gay son. You know what I mean? The gay character. Mm-hmm. There's some disturbing scenes in that, but it's Tyler Perry, so you should expect it. You know what I mean? It's just par for the course for Tyler Perry for it to be away. All right, time for the legal report, everybody. This one is here we go. It's one of the old schoolers. All rise. It's the legal report. It's the Pynk Mafia Court, everybody. The Honorable DJ, that's me, presiding. And the Pynk Mafia will be serving as our jury. You may be seated. All right, Administrative Assistant, can you please tell me what this case is all about? It's a former male employee accuses Smokey Robinson of sexual assault. No, sexual harassment. Oh, sexual harassment. Okay. That's Smokey Robinson. Oh gosh, what's going on here? I don't want to go any further. Now, I get that Smokey was, touching up on the women, but now he's touching up on the men too. I don't know. Here he is trying to keep it all hetero, and here they sneaking up into the gay people's lifestyle. Can you leave us alone, please? Let's get into it. The former male employee that accused Smokey Robinson of sexual harassment, indecent exposure, and unwanted physical contact in a new claim is seeking to join an existing lawsuit against the singer and his wife. This follows the initial lawsuit filed in May 2025 by 4 former female housekeepers who have alleged sexual assault and workplace violation. The details of the male accusation, shout out to our legal AI over here that give us this. It says the male accuser who worked for Smokey Robinson as a staff member claims that Smokey Robinson repeatedly exposed himself, touched himself in the accuser's presence, and made sexual suggestive remarks starting around 2013. The accuser also alleges that in 2022, Robinson tried to force his hand onto his erect penis. Oh. I'm sorry. I got grossed out for a minute. I got, Can you take his picture down, please? Thank you. I don't need to look at him while I'm reading this. No, please take it down. Take it down. This is disgusting. Like, can you imagine him going over here with his his pill-induced hard penis? You know what I mean? You know, with an old man like that, has got a hard penis. He's really excited about it. You know, he's got the pills to make sure it stays like that. So they're like, you know what I mean? Congratulations to that. I mean, Smokey Robinson able to take a pill, and get his ding. You know what I mean? The man claims that he was fired after the alleged 2022 incident, the one where Robinson forced him to touch his penis, but returned to work a year later at the request of Robinson's wife, Frances, at which point the behavior allegedly continued. So this is why they're suing the wife, because she was an enabler. But she's like, okay, I'm sorry, he doesn't mean it, Now the question is he giving all this to you, or is this that he's giving to you, and then he's got extra energy left over, and he's harassing the other people in the in his workforce. It says he states that he ultimately stopped working for the Robinsons after learning of similar contact or conduct towards other victims and others of concern of his own well-being. Now, the initial lawsuit was in 4 former female employees indicated that all identified as Jane Does filed a lawsuit against Robinson seeking at least $50 million in damages. This person hasn't even talked about money in this case, but they're joining in on this, so I guess they're part of the $50 million. They accused Smokey of repeatedly sexual battery and rape. Now, I'm trying to think about... and Frances of creating a hostile work environment. Well, it sounds like a lot of it is, her, ignoring their claim. That's what's creating the hostile work environment. Like they're trying to say, maybe if you talk to the wife, maybe the wife could kind of calm this down. Maybe the wife could talk to him about this, and she's not doing that. What she's doing is making excuses for him or ignoring the claims. This is the same thing that we've got with what's her name, Ellen DeGeneres, or some other people that where they may not be doing anything, but they're ignoring the claims, they're ignoring it, and so that breeds a workforce or a work environment that's not healthy. Period. End of story. Robinson's response, Smokey Robinson and his legal team are vehemently denying all allegations, calling them a shakedown and manufactured. In May 2025, Robinson filed a $500 million defamation countersuit against the 4 women and their attorneys, accusing them of conspiracy to extort money. Criminal investigation. The Los Angeles County Sheriff Department is actively investigating criminal allegations against Robinson. And previously, investigation, an attorney for a woman noted that Robinson was the subject of a sexual assault investigation in 2015, but no charges were filed at the time due to insufficient evidence, which is always insufficient evidence. Smokey Robinson representatives have not yet commented on the newest claim, and the trial for the initial lawsuit is set for October 2027. Oh, well, we've got 2 years to, mull this, or at least another year, right? No, 2 years. Let's call this 2 years to mull over this. You know what I'm saying? Which means they're going to be, trying to get more people to join on. Now, I don't know if that's, I can understand why they would say conspiring, right? But if the person left the second time, is it possible that they signed an NDA? And then so it takes the lawyers a little time to coax them to say, listen, if there's something criminal here, which there is, a Los Angeles County Sheriff Department is actively investigating the criminal allegations against Robinson. So there's criminal allegations, okay? Criminal, which means legal, like, into jail system, criminal court, different than civil court, okay? Civil's money, criminal is jail, okay? And if they find something that's criminal, then that means that something was there, right? And they're probably, and in that way it null and voids your NDA. If there's criminal behavior, an NDA cannot cover criminal behavior. Am I right? Right? If you can prove that there is a that there was something crime happened that NDA can't protect you from the crimes, right? Right. Okay. Is that correct? That's correct, right? Okay. So I could see them taking some time to get to this person to, to get them to open up and say, come on, you need to join in. And I'm sure as a male person, you don't want to do that. You know what I mean? You're like, oh God, great. I gotta be on the record. You know what I'm saying? That he made me touch his penis. Oh gosh, I wouldn't want it either. But you know what? Listen, if it's to help to support the 4 women that were going through this situation, and if a male voice makes it more legitimate, then let that be known. You know what I mean? Sometimes our male, males need to step up when it comes to protecting women. It's not just women protecting women, but it's people protecting each other. You know what I'm saying? Instead of men protecting women, just see it as people protecting other people, other victims. You know what I'm saying? We got to protect each other from people who are preying on us. Doesn't matter what sex or gender they are. A predator is a predator. There are female predators. There are male predators. More male predators. And a lot of that is because it's conditioning. You know what I mean? The conditions are open for men to do this and women not to. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the women are exempt from being predators. You know what I mean? And non-binary people get to be predators too. They're human. And so, again, it's very little and low because the conditions are not set for a non-binary person to feel the privilege enough to do these certain things. Certain things are based on the conditioning of their gender. You know what I'm saying? So, listen, I'm wishing these people get their justice. You know what I'm saying? 2027, it's a long way around. We can't even think about that, Lamb. I'm still thinking about, November 2026 when we got to vote for another governor. You know what I mean? That's where my mind is at. I'm sorry. And I got to find out, what do we get? Are we getting rid of Hakeem or nah? you know. Download the We Are You Radio, everyone. That way you don't miss a thing. We got more coming up. Keep it locked here. Raw and Uncut. We Are You Radio, the urban sound of pride.
Category is Black LGBTQ plus radio station realness. And the winner is WeAreYouRadio.com, the only Black-owned LGBTQ plus 24/7 streaming station in the world. Exclusive, legendary, iconic. Wherever you're celebrating Pride, WeAreYouRadio.com is your soundtrack. Those other stations might be called Pride, but WeAreYouRadio.com features Black queer artists. We're talking hip-hop, soulful house music, R&B, Black, queer, and unapologetic. WeAreYouRadio.com, the sound of Black queer pride, 365 days of the year.
Man, do I love that song right there. Big shout out to Brent Joy, everyone. Skin, he's working on some new music coming up next year, 2026. Look out for it. You know what I'm saying? We'll have it here on the soundtrack of Pride, Raw and Uncut. And We Are You Radio, you don't understand what I'm saying. 7 to 10 every Monday through Friday, by the way. It's good to hear the whole family's back. You heard that what's her face? Miss Sophia is back in the morning. Yeah, from 10 to 2. I was kikiing to her the other day. You know what I'm saying? It was Monday, right? No, I was like, oh, she's back. Tracks and Conversations is popping. You know what I'm saying? That's in the morning between 6 and 10. You also know that what you call it? The doctor was in this morning. Keith Sibley. That's not Keith. That's Dr. D.B. Marshall. Keith Sibley's on Saturday. You tried to get me. See, I'm on it. You know what I mean? Splash T was in yesterday too, and today. Look at that. Everybody's coming in. It's the holidays. That's what it is. You know what I mean? Everyone's trying to come on in and get it in before we all check out for the rest of the season. Then we got to come in for the holidays, right? Everyone's gonna be ching-ching-a-ding, ching-ching-a-ding. Christmas time is here. Oh God. No, we don't do it until December. Yeah. It's after Thanksgiving. We're not doing none of that until Thanksgiving. Thank you. That's the Christmas season. Let's keep the seasons the seasons. Tis the seasons. Tis the seasons. No. Well, I know what Keith Lee's getting this Christmas. Why do y'all do this to Keith Lee? Why do people do this to Keith Lee? Can I just say, why do y'all do this to Keith Lee? Stop doing this to him. Oh, Lord Jesus. So Keith Lee, the video is going around that his brother, of course, just got out of prison. And he goes and he's hanging out with his brother. There he is with his pink sneakers and, you know what I'm saying? And just, look at it, it's the way he's walking. Exactly. It's just very loose. The way he leans over and talks to his brother. You know what I'm saying? And then he's just throwing the yams. He's yam clapping. I don't know what's the big deal. I don't know. I guess because he kind of doesn't like it. So, I think we're just trolling him, right? Yeah. I think it's funny now. You know why? Because they're doing it because they know he hates it. But you keep doing it. So it's like what's his name? Odell Beckham. Odell does this all the time. He does the dancing and the Free Willy stuff. And then when people call him gay, he gets all, I'm not gay. Okay, bro. Does it really matter what we say? Does it really matter? When you're piping women, does it really matter what we say? Does it really matter? When you're calling over a hooker or something, does it really matter what we say? Does it really matter? Are you not getting pussy because we're calling you gay? Is that what it is? I mean, for Keith Lee, it's even worse. I mean, he's married. You know what I mean? So what? They call you gay. You got a wife, got kids. You know what I mean? They can call you whatever the hell they want. You know what I mean? Come on now. You got a group of people who are looking at you, shake them yams, your big booty cakes, and you could tell he knows the difference because now he doesn't do it towards the camera. But shout out to his brother looking at him when he turns around and the brother's like, "What are you doing? What are you doing? Come on, bro. This is what we do. This is what we do. Not on camera." He's like, what I'm saying? He's over there eating his, fried chicken and rice and stuff, looking like, what is this man doing? What is this man doing? Well, shout out to Keith Lee, you know what I mean? His big ass pink sneakers, and he should feel comfortable in doing this. You know what I'm saying? Clearly, he feels comfortable. He just hates being called gay. That's what it is. You know what I mean? Or maybe it's because people hit him in the DMs. That's, a lot of people, we don't know what's going on in the DMs. Like when you call someone gay, do all the gay boys, you know what I'm saying, start hitting him up in the DM. With dick prints and things and, booty prints, do you guys do that? Are you guys doing that? I see two of the people in the Mafia saying you've done it. Have you done that? To who? Annalie Chopper? See. So you guys are doing that. And that's wrong, you know what I mean? But I get it, You shoot your shot. You never know. Maybe he'll shoot you down, shoot you down, or shoot you up in private. You never know. You never know. And you never know unless you shoot your shot. And that's a lot of times that's what they're doing, right? That's what people tell you, right? Yeah, a closed mouth don't get fed. And if you want the penis, you gotta say something. You gotta say something. Can I get the penis, please? Can I get the cakes? You can always take a no. A no is a no, and a no is a no. So then you move on. You're like, damn it. It's like a lottery. You know what I'm saying? That one of them he's gonna say yes to, right? You don't know who it is, but he's gonna say yes to. You don't know. I don't know. Do you know? I don't know. He could never tell us. We don't need to know. You know what I'm saying? So I'm assuming that's why they get in the comments and they get in their emotions and like, well, don't call me gay. Well, fine. Sorry, you're cute and you got a nice body and we like the way you throw the clappers and you know what I mean. I don't know why men get like that. Heterosexual men. Like, come on, you're cute. People find you attractive. Shut up. You know what I'm saying? We think women are the only people that. See, the problem is, you can't think that women are the only ones that find you attractive. Like, that other people exist. They always existed, and then now they just have the ability to fantasize about you on social media. This is what we do on social media, though. You know what I'm saying? This is what we were doing in our rooms with our friends, and our friends happen to be online now. Like, a lot of people they don't call their friends over because why would you want your friends to be over when you could deal with them on social media, and then when you're done with your friends, you just turn off your phone. All right, I'm done with these people. I'm just gonna calm my phone down. That's it. You know what I mean? The hell with all that. So shout out to Keith Lee. I hope you don't get upset. Just take it with a grain of salt, and just keep smashing the wife and spending time with the kids and raising your children to be good people. You know what I mean? You focus on that and the food stuff, and you know what I mean. Don't worry about what they're doing online. Don't worry about what they're saying to you. Don't even worry about if they're sending you in the DMs. Just don't respond. I know. It's annoying. I get it. It would be annoying to me if I was, a celebrity and a bunch of women who was just like, oh, he's so hot. You're just so hot. You can't be gay. You can't be gay. I used to get that all the time, Keith. Can I talk to Keith for a second? I used to get that all the time, Keith. I used to get that I'm straight all the time, constantly. Oh my gosh. You know how many women would constantly come on to me? And it was annoying because I didn't want them. But that doesn't mean I could get upset. I can't get upset with women because they find me attractive, or they think I'd be a good husband or, a good father. I used to hear that all the time. You'd be such a good father. You'd be a good father. You're a good husband. You're husband material. Yeah, I've heard that from the men too, so you know what I mean? But I've heard that from the women. But that doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to be mad at women for doing that. I'm not going to chastise women for sending me their flower pics. You know what I'm saying? Their precious flower pics. Their pussy willow. Pussy willow. Yeah, exactly. So it is what it is. I don't think he should be upset. I think he should just deal with it. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't respond to it either. I wouldn't respond to it. I wouldn't make a video saying, women, leave me alone. Please stop paying me attention. Oh, women, oh gosh, I can't take it anymore. You guys are aggravating me. Me whining and crying about someone, patronizing me and calling me, sexy and cute and, just getting all in my guts and stuff in their brain. And I'm like, well, go ahead, have fun, women. Bounce on whatever penis print you see. Like, that's great. You know what I'm saying? But I got a man. I'm happy over here. But hey, listen. You masturbate on all you want, and I'm fine with it, okay? I'm fine with women masturbating about me. I have no problem. Maybe my man might have a problem, but I don't have a problem. I mean, it is what it is. What am I going to do? What are you going to do? Download the Real You Radio app with that what you don't. What are you going to do? Shout out to Keith Lee. Raw and Uncut. Real You Radio, the urban sound of pride.
R&B, hip-hop, and house music.
The hottest music.
First things first.
Nobody does it like We Are You Radio.
We everywhere, baby.
Urban music for the LGBTQ community.
Yeah, there you go, everyone. Dustin Conrad right there with Kissing in Public. He's on tour with the Love on Digital tour. On Friday, we'll tell you more about the tour. We'll tell whatever tour dates are left. He's in the midst of it right now. But I don't have it in front of me, so it's okay. Know that he's on tour. Go to DustinConrad.com and go get up the tickets. You know what I'm saying? I know they're mostly sold out, right? Yeah, exactly. You may not be able to get anything. You know what I mean? Sold out. The Grammys are gonna pick this guy. I really hope so. I mean, he's up against Duran Bernard, who we heard earlier. You know what I'm saying? God, that's tough. You know what I mean? Duran Bernard or Dustin Conrad. If I was a Grammy voter, oh God, I'd be so torn. I'd be so torn. Because I like Duran Bernard's entire album, but I also love Dustin Conrad's entire album. they're both talented in their own ways. You know what I'm saying? One is just, vocally insane, and the other one just embodies R&B. You know what I'm saying? There's something about Dustin Conrad that I feel connected to as an artist. You know what I'm saying? He feels down to earth, relatable. But so does Duran Bernard. And it's the fun factor with Duran Bernard, the performance factor with Duran Bernard. The way he performs, he lights up a stage. Oh man, it's so tough. I would hate to be the person who has got to make those decisions. The Grammys are coming up. I think February 1st, right? Really excited. You know what I mean? Shout out to Coleman Domingo. We didn't talk about Coleman Domingo earlier. Why not talk about him now? You know what I mean? I'm just saying. You know what I mean? There he is coming in for his the red carpet for whatchamacallit, the new what's this movie? Wicked for Good. I don't understand this movie. I don't understand it. Can I just say I don't understand this movie, and I really mean it. I don't understand it. Do you understand it? I don't understand it. I don't get it. Is that okay to say? I think that's okay to say. No, I don't get it. Do you get it? Shout out to Coleman Domingo. What a consummate. There he's in the fur coat, right? There he goes on E! News in the fur coat. He's just coming in. They're trying to get him to stop. He's like, I gotta go. You look at him. Gosh, he just loves being famous, doesn't he? Doesn't he seem like he looks like he's enjoying being famous? You know what I'm saying? He's always dressed to impress. You know what I mean? Looks like he's the life of the party. He's never too rude. You know what I mean? He's never too rude. Never have a problem. Remember when he hosted the Golden Globes and it was a party and everyone was, dancing and stuff and having a good time during the commercials? There's something about Coleman Domingo that you just can't get enough of, right? Even his story and how he met his partner, the love couple, you know what I mean? How they the whole Craigslist part of the story and there's a whole lot of things going on with Coleman Domingo that you gotta love. You gotta love it. And we love Coleman Domingo here at the Pynk Mafia, right? Oh, shout out to Coleman Domingo. Shout out to Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande also. They're big parts of this too. You know what I'm saying? The wicked for good. I guess. I mean, what are we gonna do? Listen, it's been all month long is Trans Visibility Awareness Week. Was this week? Is that this week, right? Okay. All right, so shout out to in August of this year, reports circulated that Justine Lindsay, the NFL's first transgender cheerleader, decided to leave the Carolina Panthers Top Cats after 3 years. Wow. Okay. She said, I was cut because I'm trans. Oh. She shares that after the Trump administration to office, after the hiring of a new coach, she felt the shift within the organization. All of my teammates, they know the truth. I'm sure they do. And this is why I keep saying, that there was an organized situation to get rid of people. And this is why I say, oh God, Pharrell, brings back to Pharrell and the, would you rather be, hired because you're black or because you're good? I just want to stick my foot in his ass. You know what I mean? Usually I say in his mouth, but no, I want to put it in his ass. Because I think he has a cute ass. Oh, man. Lindsay tells us that she's reminded of the resilience and has since decided to continue her legacy by competing in the 2026 Miss International Queen pageant, the world's largest pageant for transgender women. Congratulations to Justine Lindsay. And damn, sorry to hear that you had to go from the NFL. And this is what I said about the NFL. They don't have any agency over there, do they? None. Zero. All those black players, There are hundreds of black players. There are 52 teammates on a football team, right? Isn't it 52 or 56 or something? Now you match that to how many? There are hundreds of black players. I don't understand how weak their union is. It's one of the weakest sports unions I've ever met in my entire life. They have no agency. Remember when they tried to kneel? Couldn't do that. When they tried to, protest in some silent way, can't do that. You know what I'm saying? And of course, some of it is because of their own, the individualism that happens in football, right? You would think football is a team sport, right? But what I hear is that it's groups of teams. So you've got the offensive line, you've got the defensive line, you've got the special teams. So you got 3 separate teams within one team. So a lot of them don't even mingle with each other. They don't practice with each other. They're like a whole separate thing. So that's why they say it's very difficult to get everybody on board. Like with the NBA, there's only 12 players on the team, and so that way they're a lot close knit. They're closer on the field. You know what I'm saying? Tennis by themselves. Soccer, there's 12. There's 22 on the soccer team, right? 22. So they again, small team. They're together. So I think that's the weakness of football, right? And we talked about the Texas A&M cop that hit the player on the way out. He body checked him. And then people were like, what's up with that? And I heard that happens all the time. I read in a couple of the comments, people saying, well, that happens all the time. You know what I'm saying? This is the energy down in the South. And so this is what I'm saying. This is where they ingrain it in them from then. They talk about how this is supposed to be a team sport, but it really isn't. It really isn't. You know what? It's really not. The only 2 people that really get any type of play are the quarterbacks and the receivers. Maybe some linemen, maybe a defensive back or something like that. Someone who's defensively on point. But most of it is the quarterback and the receiver, right? Yeah, really. Yeah, All right, well, there you go. Are we done? Is there anything else on the plate that I need to get off of before we go? Nothing, right? We're good? Oh, good, great. Quiet Storm's coming up next, everybody. I'm so glad we enjoyed today's show. I know on Friday, we're back on Friday. Tomorrow we do the weekly top 40. We do our edits and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait for us to be in the studio for 4 hours, banging this out, And also, Friday we're going to do with Usher. Usher is suing Brian Michael Cox. Yes. It'll be on Friday. We'll talk about it. Oh no, Usher and others. He's hey. Usher. All right. Are we ready? Make sure you go to the YouTube, to go to Pynk Mafia. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Again, you guys are doing really well over there. I mean, we've been doing this for maybe 12 weeks, and boom, we almost got 100 subscribers. So I think that's a pretty good, test of, the energy behind the Pynk Mafia. And I just want to thank everybody so far that has been subscribing and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I see you guys. I see you. And again, follow me at Just Do Dirty on all social medias. Again, we'll be back on Friday. There's those people who are new. You're like, why are you taking off Thursday? Because we do that every Thursday. We throw back on Thursday. We come on Friday and we work on Saturday. So that's why we work only 5 days a week. We need 2 days off. That'll be Thursday and Sunday, right? Thank you. Gosh, people are retarded. You know what I mean? Give me a break. You know what I mean? It's bad enough on one of my days off. I got to be in a studio working on, you know what I'm saying? Exactly. Anyway, we work hard here at the Pynk Mafia and the weekly top 40. Okay. Keep it locked to everyone. Again, the Quiet Storm's coming up next. Make sure you check out the lineup all tomorrow. It's going to be live and in charge. It's all here on Raw and Uncut. We You Radio, the urban sound of pride.
Oh, we know how you like it. Raw and Uncut with DJ Baker.
Go out there, man. Do your thing. All right, go get it.